I hate when people come out Dangra and tell me, Dangra look the same, nothing change. Fight you. Dangra does look the same, but you don't have to make it, you don't have to point it out like that.
You don't have to tell me.
You don't have to tell me that, you know, because
Welcome back to another episode of the Captain 501 broadcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's another guest episode, so of course we're being joined by another incredibly talented Belizean guest. So to give you a bit of an introduction, she's a well-experienced Belizean traveler. She was awarded as Wave Maker of the Year in 2025. She was a KTV The Remix contestant. And she's also a fellow podcast host as she hosts the BTB's Tea Talk and Tourism podcast.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome none other than Brianna Boyd.
hi everybody.
You never know I got that far back.
Oh my God, you know what crazy is that people don't even know that I had a part of KTV in 2018. Jesus Christ, like the past is coming back to haunt me.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Yeah, but it feels good to be on the other side of the mic.
It does. It definitely does feel good being on the other side of the mic.
All right. Well, let's get into it. You're, like I said, well-experienced Belizean traveler. What interested you in, or where did you find the interest in traveling? Where did that stem from?
Well, actually, it's crazy because when you have to introduce yourself in groups of people, I started introducing myself as a third-generation tourism professional because I've been working in my family's business since I could remember, and that is in tourism. So I had the privilege of growing up where people are spending money to be in vacation. And that privilege also allowed me to slow down a little bit and be able to see the beauty and the reality of living in Belize. And on social media, I do read a lot. And I just felt like the way that people were using social media wasn't equitable in many ways, in many focuses. Like I could talk about that all day. But for me, it was really important to show, what I grew up, my norm, because I think that's what people really enjoy is seeing something new. But to me, it's like, I don't even know what to say. It's like an everyday thing. So the traveling part was just something that I had been doing forever. Like I did my first dive when I was like 12 or 13. We used to go on like family trips to like Bokawina or Mayan King and different places like that. So it was really something I grew up in, and then I decided to maybe share my life to change someone else's perspective.
Nice. And you're also a cultural advocate, because if you follow her on social media, you know that she's always promoting the different practices, the dances. Whenever you're down south, I always enjoy watching the Garifuna performances that you showcase on your profile. So where did that love come from for cultural advocacy? Like
I said, it was something that I grew up in. So for me, this is literally what I post on social media has been who I am since I know myself. Like I've always been a volunteer, always been willing to go somewhere, support something, or be a part of someone's project. Like from the age of 12, I started volunteering. My first place volunteering was a special education center in Dangriga. And from there, it just continued. So like, it's hard to answer that question because it's just who I am. Like I tell my friends now that I've kind of made a career for myself out of my volunteerism, which I think is absolutely amazing because it doesn't feel like work ever,
Yeah, that's nice. And then now your connection to BTB, it seems that the cultural advocacy and the traveling, everything has paid off, right?
Yes, in so many ways, because everything kind of slapped me in the face without me realizing. Working with BTB was a surprise. The first time I had, I guess, connected with them was for the Women in Tourism recognition ceremony that they did. That was beautifully done. Oh my goodness. But that was my first time, I guess, making a direct connection with them. After that, because I'm a social butterfly, I talk to everybody. I was surprised when they gave me a call and was like, we're looking for a host for Tea Talk and Tourism. And me talk pan like this is something that I've become comfortable with. But before that, it was like, oh, I said yes, and then as soon as I said yes, I was like, frig, I need to talk to my mom. So I called my mom and I told my mom, and she was like, do it, Nana. You know, like, what could go wrong? I was like, I can't talk. Like that's one of the things. But my connection with BTB, I think that was a stepping stone for a lot of things that happened to me more toward the end of the year. And I am a full advocate for BTB now. Like, because of them, I have had a platform and more of a stance on my, what's the word? Like, people can trust me more than, because I don't have I never finished sixth form. In the past year, I think I've got like 13 different certifications in like management, sustainability, business, storytelling, communications. And so I think it's really just like my interest in what I do. And that's why people resonate so easily with it, because it is something that I'm genuinely passionate about and not really worried about the titles or getting anything out of it. It's just sharing the information I know to more sensitize our Belizeans and our tourists that come, you know, so that they care a little bit more, have more of an understanding of our resources and why it is so important. So for me, it's just providing, I guess, opportunities and experiences that I was privileged enough to have growing up to my community now. And that has been a thing. Okay, it's been a feat, but it's not something that I think will defeat me. So this year is literally to just expand on what I've already been doing in a bigger way because of the work that I've already put in the past 2 years. So I'm sorry, I talk a lot.
No, perfect. That was well said. Well said. And speaking of the certifications, well, more so the awards, last year you were awarded the Wave Maker of the Year.
That was a surprise. Make I tell you. So, oh my God. So Shonda is who I work with directly with BTB now, with Oceana. She's their field rep for the South. And if she wants to do a cleanup, she knows she could call me. If someone's doing a cleanup, she knows she can call me. Like, even if it's Hopkins, Placentia, PG, I'll be there. Once I'm invited or I know about it, I'll make an effort to come. And she one day was messaging me and she said, you could send me like a lead bio, you know? My lead bio and couple pictures or the pictures that we may take the last time we were doing cleanup. I go, okay, why?
What do you need that for?
She's like, no, just send it to me. I said, okay then. So I go to AGM every year. And so, I say answer a lot. I go to AGM every year and they were doing their recognitions, right? The district level, at the district level, and I completely forgot that there was a national wave maker. So when she got to Stan Creek, I start video, but I made a video everybody because I had to make a video, right? But I made a video, and when she got to Stan Creek, you go hear me in the back of the video, I don't get it, right? Because I said, why else would she ask me for a bio? And then I remembered about that. So it continues, and I could never remember that. I feel so bad. The lady that had gave me my award or gave my bio, when she said she grew up on Saltwater Key, my jaw hit the floor. Like, I didn't even know how to get up from where I was because I was just in like so much out. Like, I really had a moment of reflection because I'm not somebody that gets an award and relishes in it. Like, I get an award, I'm already worried about what I'm gonna do next. Literally, I got the award that same night when I got home back to Dangriga, I messaged Shanda and I said, I wonder if I should do a cleanup tomorrow and then start doing every month after that, every Sunday. And she's like, Brianna, please sit down and accept your trophy and we'll worry about this next week. I was like, but why when like the time is now, right?
Right.
But that really was something. Like the women in tourism, I really appreciated being a part of that. That was definitely an experience worthwhile. Like, I'd do that again if the chance was given, because I had the privilege of sitting in a room with so many different women. I think I was possibly like one of the youngest people there, if not the youngest. And right after that was the Oceana thing, and I don't know, maybe because I didn't know about it, it was, I don't know. It was very, I'm still like trying to process all that last year was, because it was a lot. Yeah. It was a lot.
But it also proves why you deserve to win, because, you know, like you said, as you got the award, you're already thinking about the next cleanup, the next the next thing.
I tell people, if you ever see my name on a ballot, you better vote for me. Try go get what voters ID and vote for Brianna Boyd, because I tried the politics thing, but realized after I got to I guess understand it a little bit more on what it means to be politically affiliated, it just doesn't align with my goal for myself. So I think I'm gonna step away from that and continue to be neutral. But if you do ever see me on a ballot, you better get it right and vote for Briana. Even if you're voting at Belize to go change your district. Dangriga. Okay.
Because you know that she'll get the job done.
Exactly.
The proof is there. And then too, you briefly mentioned it, but you were nominated for the 2025 Women in Tourism.
Yes, it was actually just a recognition. So it wasn't like we were winning any award like, oh, you're the best woman in tourism or anything like that. It was just, I guess, recognizing the women in Belize that have been, I guess, breaking barriers within tourism. Because there was a lot of women-owned businesses there, and some experiences that even I had tried out and was happy to see them there, because I was like, damn, I feel bad if I there, and then they think about this one and that one. But seeing people there from literally all walks of life, like from Hopkins, Dangriga, PG, Placencia, up north, like it felt full circle in a way, because being one of the youngest people there, it really made me look at it like, man, I wonder if I'll be here next year or the year after that or the year after that, and seeing the different types of people, women that are coming into not only the tourism industry, because tourism is a business, right? It's more than just serving a plate or making a bed. There's so many different things that go into it. If you have a restaurant, if you have a Chinese shop, if you have a regular shop, you work in a tourism, because tourists go there. Locals are also tourists. And I don't know, it was very fulfilling. And man, I can't wait to see what else every single woman in this room does, and the ones to come, because that is like, it's a testament to the work that I do, right? What started my platform, Contact Bree BZ, it wasn't your favorite online tour guide. It was, hey, I went to an expo or I went to a pop-up. Like, I was in Dangriga and I saw BTB was doing their eco pop-up at Battlefield Park. I couldn't wait for Dangriga just for that, no? And I think I talked to every single person after that. There was one in Bilmopan. Gone that one in Bilmapan. After Bilmapan, there was one in Placencia, gone and one in Placencia. And you realize it's almost the same people every time. So you build connections with these people. All of a sudden, I became a marketing consultant. Right? I had a passion for what I was doing, and I know that I wanted to help people. And I say, people love Yamita. What better way than just start posting online? So I started supporting there's a couple businesses that did send me some free stuff, but not before I bought from them, and started posting it myself. So I started just for the past 2 years, I can confidently say I've only been using Belizean made skincare, hair care, and body hygiene products. Mal, Naturally Belize Cosmetics. I don't know if I could have any names. Aikuma. Who else do I use? Coca Love. I use Thorough Beauty. Thorough Beauty is actually a little bit newer. They're in Lord's Bank. I met them at Climate Week. 10 out of 10. She have a face mask that you could use as a pimple patch. Okay? Love them. But those are just some, especially Mal, though. That's like my queen. She's from Corozal. She does a lot. But you could see, I look at it like this, right? Like I'm supporting all of these businesses, helping them in sub capacity with their marketing. So that means that it's driving them, like driving their funds. And then I'm posting about it, so more people are knowing about it. There's actually some people that message me and would ask me like the brands that I use, or if I'm still using them, how I feel about it. And then they would convert to just using that product as well. So I was like, damn, I'm really, really into something here. And I don't know, it was even though I wasn't like getting any finance from it or trying to make a business out of their business, like, oh, make I get a code and get a lead discount and make somebody else use it. It was like never that. It was always just trying to find more mediums for businesses to be seen, you know? And I think that's what we're lacking a lot of right now, is that a lot of these businesses want to post on social media or do post on social media, but they're never hitting their target audience. And I don't really think it's that. I just think that people here find it hard to support another one without feeling like they need to get something back. And it's not just businesses supporting businesses, also like different organizations that come in and try to build different things in different communities. We don't really get a lot of support from, you know, the local community that should be wanting to support the organizations and businesses that are uplifting them, you know. And so that's really the goal, is to try to show people that you could help, you could support, you could be a part of someone else's growth without having to make money off of it, or without even having to give them money. You know, I think what I've seen the most is that a lot of these small businesses are just happy for the small conversations without even buying anything from them. When they could talk about their business to you, you could like see the passion that they carry. And even if you don't buy something, you know you're going to tell somebody else about it, or hey, you need to go and check this lady over there, she got this, that, and the third, you might be interested in that. And that's really how it works out. You know, you don't have to buy something as long as you talk about it. Word of mouth is the best type of marketing.
Yep.
And a lot of the women and the small business owners, because it's not limited to just women, a lot of the small business owners that I've met the past 2 years have helped me in my journey without even knowing it. Like, when I started helping them as a marketing consultant, they used to tell me, fake it till you make it, right? And it taught me everything that I need to know, because once I realized that, okay, I'm helping this person with their marketing, but I don't fully understand this, guess what? I go on ChatGPT. And I don't use ChatGPT in the way that most people do, like, oh, write this for me, I need to do this, I need for that, write that for me. No. It's how you optimize it, because I read a lot about the way that we've been shifting into the digital wave of today. And it has actually done a lot of damage. People can't think for themselves.
Yeah.
Me, I would think for myself. I come from that generation. So I go on ChatGPT and I'll type in whatever prompt Google tells me to give it. And I'll be like, okay, I need a full training module or full training lesson plan on marketing, or a full lesson plan on storytelling to locals, or a full story plan on how to promote like a natural, like an eco-friendly business. Something like that. Where even the other day I look up, because I wanted to get a job with TASA, right? And I don't have a natural resource management degree. That was one of the requirements. But I do have a lot of certificates in natural resource management and marine sustainability. So I even went on there and I looked up, give me a full training module for a natural resource management degree. And it gave me everything that I would need to know. I said, okay, then broke this down into a full thing. And I spent like almost a month. I never hear back from it, but it was okay, because now I know a little bit more or less what I would need to. And it's helped me in my platform, my advocacy, because now I know better how to explain. So I feel like everything worked out the way it should. Sarah, I have a tattoo on my back. I probably didn't belong at TASA because I don't have the degree for it, but I had the interest enough to learn more. And I think that's just how life is. Once you see something that speaks to you, because I work off of straight vibes, once you see something that speaks to you, you clearly have a level of interest for it to talk to you that long. And the way life works is, if you want to be there, you will. You just have to put the level of interest in. My granny tell me long time, the level of interest you have in something, that will pay your day in a life. I tell my youths, if you want to tell me I want to be a millionaire next year, I will believe you only if you are already doing the work to get to that point. But if you roll up in your backyard, they say, yeah, man, I will be a millionaire next year. I don't believe you, because you're not showing the initiative. But there are some youths that have come from when they say you think you got it bad, but somebody got it worse. I have seen some youths just overcome every situation that they have been put through. And I think that's why community empowerment and empowering small businesses and leading by example is really important, because that's the only way you can instill some type of hope or sensitization that there will be a better tomorrow. And I just turned 25 yesterday, but I'm only 25, and yesterday, the amount of messages I got from people that I don't even know, people that youth that I've spoken to only from behind a microphone, never like in their face, message me and tell me sometimes, they go back on my video, because I'll video my speeches and stuff to use sometimes. They'll go back in my videos and they'll go and watch it, and they're like, they heard, like last year, I had a group of 9 students at me and my mom's hotel in Dangriga, and one of them came out to me this year, they were like, man, the lessons that I taught them, because we put work in a picnic, we end up to do a day-long communications and etiquette training with our 9 interns. And I was almost like disgusted, because how don't know what a communication? Like, we do it every day. We do it. You don't know what communication is. Different styles of communication. I'm like, let me sit down and think, like, what we to teach? What we to teach in picnic? What are we teaching as a collective? Because community development is a community responsibility. Right. It's not the teachers, it's not the home, it's everybody that lives within that community, right? What are we teaching? That's the question I asked. And so when I realized that, okay, they've been with us for a week and I don't really see much communication skills, that was when I realized, okay, that's when I knew this is what I'll be teaching the youths, because I know communication. So guess what I do? Chat GPP, full lesson plan communication. And then I had my mom's old BTB professional core, because my mom's a tour guide as well. I had her BTB professional core booklet, right? Because they have the general core, which is just information about Belize. And then they have the professional core, which teaches you etiquette, briefings, communication, conversations, interpretations, presentations, stuff like that. So then I use that. And you could almost say, this is how I like talk to picnic, right? Because when I talk to kids or youths, when they're fully engaged with you, you could watch the light and the thing, the flicker in the eye, like, okay, did they take this in? And then what really put it together for me was we did a team building activity. Big up St. John's, because it was my favorite thing ever. It was the scavenger hunt. You remember when we used to do scavenger hunt? That's in that chance. Okay, so I put one together for my kids in Dangriga. Scavenger hunt, Dangriga base, right between the park that's in front and the next business and people that are just around. And they put everything that I had taught them to work, and it was one of the most hilarious activity ever, because we in a six, so when we did it, I think we had a little bit more understanding. Okay, we had this, we had that, we had it all over the place, but limiting them to just like 100 yards around the hotel, and then having to like source people from absolutely nowhere. You just saw how creative they could get, and it was a reminder to them, this is self-reflect. This is not self-reflection. This is self-discovery, right? Boredom is what you find. What? I'm lying. Self-discovery is what you find right after boredom. And when you're looking at a piece of paper, what we didn't even realize back then, doing that scavenger hunt, was we were finding ourselves in different ways. Because if you remember, there was a question on there, take a picture with Baron Bliss. How the hell you want to take a picture with Baron Bliss? Right? But then it made people start thinking, oh, I can use a picture, they pull out their phone and they take selfies with the man, you know? But that is using your imagination. Imagination, self-discovery, same thing. That's how I found out what I like, because I was bored enough to volunteer somewhere. I must say, find something to do before something to do. I gotta find something to do. Colegos is right next door to my house. That's where the special education center was. It was very easy. And in that moment, I saw a lot of, I was on like 12 or 13, but I saw a lot of things that I wasn't really happy with. There was a lot of students in the classroom. There was, I think, someone that was mute but could not speak effectively with one of the teachers because they didn't know sign language. It was just like the basic letters. And I saw all of that as an issue. At 12 years old, my goal was to open an NGO at 18, helping the deaf, the mute, the blind. And I tell my mom I had this whole plan about how this could go. Right? It will give the people a support. It will give their families support. It will give 12 years old. It will give the teacher. It will give the parents support for know how to deal with their new babies, because they're not. My mother like, girl, what are you there? Stay right there. I was like, no, ma, I feel like you could do it. 12 years old, wanting to start an NGO. And I just remember that, like, to think about it now, but that really is like a testament to everything that I'm doing now. At 12 years old, all I cared about was the livelihoods of these youth between the ages of probably like 4 to 10 that were sitting in that class, thinking about different ways that I could change their life right now, even though I had not an idea, not a dime on what could have been done or how it could be done. I just know that something needed to be done, and I carried that in life. Like high school, I was always a volunteer. I've been a wave maker since 2016. I was in every single club you could think of. Even I was in the PUP BYM. and I was in the UDP youth group. Don't even remember the name of it because I wasn't officially in either of them. I just knew that they were doing things and I wanted to be a part of it. So I would go and give out food with PUP, and then you catch me the wrap gift with UDP the same evening. Because I don't care. Whoever is helping my community or they're doing something that benefits my community, I am there. Like, I don't think people understand that. People call me away from PG and me go no. Way from PG and me go. I'm not ask them to send me no gas money. I'm not ask them to put me in no hotel and ask them to give me no food. You need me? I'll be there. I'll be there. And I think that's what make people want to help. Well, not help me, but want to work with me a lot more because I don't care what me to do. Just give me a date and I'll make myself available. As long as it seems like something that will fulfill me and somewhere I could help, or just something that speaks to me, Brianna Boyd, I'll be there because that's just who I am. Somebody that shows up. Like today I come with Fadanga. I'm here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I talk a lot. You'll learn that.
No, that's just, it's a test to how passionate you are about it.
Yeah, I don't know when to shut up, so you just tell me when, okay?
No, I'm here listening in awe. And if there's 3 things I want you guys to take away: 1, support our local businesses, support our Belizean businesses. The next one, self-discovery comes after boredom. Yep. I think I remember that the most. Yeah. And then now we also have some things very much in common because you said that your mom was a tour guide. My dad was a tour guide.
Period. What did he do? What kind of tour guide was he?
He used to work at the tourist village and he would do like the private tours. Yeah.
I want to go in a tourist village, but I don't know if we go in a tourist village, like as a Belizean.
At the time, I remember like I don't know if I could say this, I might have to cut this up. But at the time, he would have like make I go in like 1 or 2 times. Yeah. I had to pass through the security checkpoint and all of that, but yeah.
I never know all of that the back there. That's crazy. Well, I'm just a general guide right now. But I hope to be a specialized marine guide just because it's like the easiest thing for me and I enjoy the water. Like, you could lose almost 700 calories by doing just one dive. Like if I did 2 or 3 dives every day, body tea.
That's why that's why people find Key look so good.
Exactly. And I remember last year we had a student group of about 30 students from the US, and we swam probably 2 to 4 hours a day for 10 days. And normally when you do like a lot of workout like that, because swimming is a workout, you'll feel really tired. Yep. Nope. No, when we swam 4 hours. That night I was sleepy tired, but I wasn't like sore tired. Like I could have continued to do it. And I don't know, that really motivated me even more. I was like, okay, I really like swimming, but I've been swimming since I've known myself, right? But like to make a career about it or a career with it, it's definitely something different. Since I got my tour guide license, I did my first 2 tours this last month in December. And was it December? I think December, and then one in January. I had never done like an official tour by myself. I would be along on a tour through Blue Marlin, which is my family's company. And I would just watch how the tours were conducted. I was like, man, I feel like I could do that better. I gotta get my tour guide license. And I don't know, it's being with guests, Belizeans and foreign, just being with them one-on-one and being able to connect with them in a way that I could share with you what I've known my entire life. Like, I love to see people, because I had a Belizean group too, It's crazy because normally when foreigners go on trips with us, they're the ones to be like, wow, when we're going to like a mangrove reserve or we're going snorkeling, they're the ones who say, wow, but Belizeans do it too. We do it too. But I tell you, it was the funniest thing. Like we got into the mangrove reserve and my local guests had so many questions. And you know what? I have all of the answers. Like, yes, please. And then I could talk to you like this. So you make it even more comfortable, more relatable. And I don't know, I feel like Belizeans, we should really be traveling more within the country because we have a fear of, being a local traveler and then not getting the same treatment as a foreign traveler. Which thing that is true because I've experienced that as somebody that travels within Belize a lot. And it makes me never want to go back to your place. I go in or hostel where I treat me good before I go back to your 5-star because I'm Belizean, I'll be treated differently. No. So it was like I like to go places, or when I have guests, I want them to feel like they're on vacation, because when I left Dangriga, they're on vacation. Yep. When I left Placenza, Hopkins, Belize City, right now I'm on vacation. They just don't know it. And that's the whole you need to make people feel, you know what I mean? When Belizeans come on, they're paying the same amount of money as somebody else. You shouldn't even look at it like that, you know? Just be happy that you are able to share that experience with them, because your norm is somebody else's, oh my God, you know? And it doesn't make you, just because you're a local, just because you're a foreigner, I don't mean that you are look pan. People look pan mountain and oh my God, well, we don't have that home. If you live at Belize City, you don't have the waters as salt water. Key home, if you live that salt water, if you live in a Dangriga, you don't have some of the things that Belize City has. Like, where I gone the other day? I haven't wowed in a long time. Where did I go? I have to try to remember. But I went somewhere the other day within Belize, and I was like, wow. I think it was in Coxcomb. But I was like, wow. It was, I don't know. I could talk all day about that, but it's important that we as Belizeans, we go out and we experience Belize, because how could we recommend places to people? Because really and truly, even if you're not in tourism, a foreigner will ask you where path to go. Even a local will be like, where path to go, I want to go to this somewhere. How embarrassing is it that you don't know where path to go? Right. And you're that friend, yeah. How old are you? 25, 24, and you don't know where path to go, and you grew up here your entire life? Chop. That's embarrassing. So when I realized that, because I never start like tour boat to like, I guess, tourism attractions until recently. Like, I never gone to no Mayan ruin, or no Mayan temple, or archaeological site, as we should say, until 2 years ago. That was my first time going to NICH, and I grew up here. So when I did Aquino, because I was mainly marine based, so like we'd go on dives, snorkels, we'd go like a waterfall now and again, but never like actual archaeological site or an actual tour within, you know, unless it was like a cave or something. I love caves, by the way. They would ask me like, oh, let me get a recommendation for your favorite archaeological site, or should I do this one? What's the difference between these two? And I'll just be like, I don't know. Like, how embarrassing is that? You don't know. So I say, you know what? I have to do it. I have to go and do it now. So my goal is to do all the archaeological sites in Belize. But I only say embarrassing because they'll be like, oh, I've done San Antonio 3 times. How much time you gonna Belize 2? Huh? How you do that more than me? I live here. So that was really like the motivation, is how many things can I do before you know? Like, we have some guests that come to our family business multiple times a year, right? And every time I have a conversation with them, oh, what did you do? What did you do? And they'll be like, oh, I did this, because they were in the country fairly well, right? Oh, we went here, we went here, we went here. And now I can one up them. Oh, I did that already. I did that already. I did that already. And it's not like bragging or anything like that. It's just like, okay, we could do it too, you know? And I think people forget that sometimes. It's like, oh, I want to go to San Antonio, but I don't know a tourist. Take that mentality away, because we need to support our locals. NICH is local. That is our National Institute of what? Archaeology. Cultural history. You're right. I should have known what that meant. But it's all about one. I feel like once us as Belizeans start genuinely supporting, right, organizations, people, like just your community members, you will see how so many things will shift. You will, like, you could see it. I didn't even see it yet, and I don't could see it. Like, you could see once we are sharing, it's kind of like a NDC. You know what NDC is? The National Determined Contribution. So it's a set of goals that are made. Shania would be so happy right now. It's a set of goals that are put together pretty much that help with the climate action, right? In the next 5 years, this is how we can work together to see the Belize that we want to see in the next 15 to 20 years. I feel like if people are more sensitized on, not specific NDCs, because there's different types, right? If there's a common goal that we could all work toward, that people are being supported to work toward, no matter the community, not just Dangriga, anybody, you will see a change. because people will only work when they feel supported. You know what I mean? And not to say it like people not out there to be people out there not being supported, not working, because that's not the case. It's what will happen or how can it happen if we are working together, right? Different groups. And I think that's why I really wouldn't want to be within like a political party, because I think it limits you. You know what I mean? It limits the connection that you could have with somebody within your community. And I don't know, maybe talking about politics is like, might just gotta talk about politics. But for me, it's really like, wow, why? Well, I can't, you know? And in my community, at least, I see that as kind of a divide. Like, if you're blue, you're blue. If you're red, you're red. If you're yellow, you're purple, you're purple. And I think we need to get out of that mentality, because isn't the point of being in a specific organization or party is to make somebody else come and follow you? So how can we do that if we are limiting the work that we're doing within the community? You know? So I think that's really a food for thought, is how could we as community members, we don't know the one way to run up for nothing. We need to continue work together for the benefit of our community. I want Dangaga, Belize City, Orangewa, and I want to put a plan together that is going to benefit your community. There was a youth needs assessment done in 2023, and the results were very profound, especially when it came to mental health. That is a good start. You know, much things are happening in Belize right now. Like, I just said this morning that someone was assaulted by 3 men from my community. Come on, man. We should not. How are we raising our youth? How are we raising? It's not only women, and man and woman should feel comfortable enough and safe enough to go out in their communities and get drunk if they want to. I mean, I don't get drunk in a public, right? But you should feel safe enough to do so. And it all comes back to, what are we teaching not only our youth, but what are we making okay in our communities? How many times this year have you seen something on the news that was not positive? But how can we limit what's happening in our communities if that's all that we're posting? You know what I mean? I had to tell you, they must have had this happened today, something bad happened today, but what happened a couple of days ago? Somebody had probably a workshop, or somebody BYM just got sworn in on Saturday. I still haven't really seen anything about that from the tabloids, you know what I mean? That is the positivity that we need to be putting out, so that we are showing our youth that there is things that could happen, positive things could happen, not a hide a picnic home or keep them on their phone, because that's doing more harm than anything. Like, there's a book that I'm reading called The Anxious Generation, and it talks about how we are in a generation right now that we have kind of shifted the way that we raise our youth. Raising them in, I guess he's arguing about a child's fragility, right? We're raising them, protecting them from the real world instead of protecting them online. And that is where we need to be protecting them the most, is online, because if you look at, what year you graduated high school? Okay, I graduated 2018. If you look at our generation, right? The way that we grew up. I grew up I never had a phone till about second farm, right? So I grew up outside. I grew up having to figure it out and finding something to do with my friends. And this past generation, they were forced into online school, right? And instead of encouraging, I guess, the lacking, right? Instead of encouraging where they're lacking in doing outside stuff, or not even just outside, just finding something that speaks to you as a person, we kind of just let them. And adults, our generation, is falling into that as well, because that is what's now becoming the norm. So if this is what we are teaching, you know, people lead by example, monkey see, monkey do. If this is what we are teaching, if our new generation is teaching this, if our old generation is teaching this new generation that it's okay to be on your phone, or you have to depend on your phone, or the thing about a phone is that it hasn't become a tool of communication. It has just become a tool. And when you don't have access to a tool, you don't know where to go. You don't know what path to start. And so it's in your interest to use that tool to teach you how not to need it. That makes sense? And it go back to like the chat GPT thing. I don't use chat GPT to write a story for me or to write a speech for me because one, I'm not member it. And two, how will that benefit? And a lot of people are doing that, like, oh, I have an essay, make I use chat GPT and probably fix it up. No man. How when you don't have the chat GPT, because the other day chat GPT me done and a couple of my friends they me done with it.
Yep.
They never even know how to start. I was like, come on, that one of the don't got a big girl job and not that would happen. But it's not their fault. It's just it's what we have become okay with. That it people only happen. Thing only happen when you allow it to happen, right? And we have become so comfortable in complacency of our phone, of not doing anything that benefits someone else other than myself. Because right now my show they on, or right now I'm on TikTok, my favorite creator they post up and I need for the partner. You know what I mean? It's also like how we're posting, how we're using social media. Are we intentionally using it? How are we using it to benefit, or not really benefit, but how are we using it to uplift, to teach? And I guess that's what I got into social media for, was uplifting and teaching, because that's how you become sensitized, right? I have some Belizeans on my TikTok that would message me and be like, yeah, me never know that. Or you could look in at the comments and be like, whoa, so much education. I didn't even know that was a thing. And it makes me feel like, okay, what I'm doing is the right thing, because I'm showing someone like me. I feel like I have a good testament, because a lot of people try to have a goal and then they stop because they don't feel they're successful or accomplished enough. I even got what degree. And I did not make that limit me. And I hate saying it like that, but it's a good example, because in Belize, if you don't have a degree, you're nothing. That way I understand, right? If you don't have a degree, you can't get this job, you can't qualify for that. Or you don't have a degree, you need to go back to school. Not necessarily. Not everybody into school. Me, I hated school. Like, taking tests would be the most turmoil I'd ever feel. When I did my tour guide class the other day, I told my trainer, like, me and test taking do not go well. Like, I'm an overthinker. I have high anxiety when things like that happen. And I think I neglected some of my work trying to ensure that I was prepared for the exams that we did during the tour guide class, because that was the last time I took an exam since like forever. Other than like my certification courses, it's a little quick thing, but it's never like you have to remember that thing for a long time. I could finish a certification course in 2-3 days, depending on what it is, right? I've been in conversations where people would talk to me and they'd ask me, like, after we're talking for like 3-5 minutes or whatever, however long we're talking, they'll be like, oh, so what are you going for school? Johns? They said, oh, but I think you moved. I was like, yeah, I did Johns for a year and I didn't really want to go back because I was doing psychology and that was my safe class. After a year, I wasn't going to school because of COVID and because I could not do the online thing. And I decided that I really don't want the psychology. And so my mom was like, go back to school, So I don't want to go back to school because I don't know what I want to do. Now I would go back to school for marine science or natural resource management, you know? But because I've built a career in my passion, so I don't mind doing it, but man, there's just so much. There's so much.
Season 2 of the Captain 501 broadcast is brought to you by the National Institute of Culture and History, NICH. NICH is Belize's premier cultural institution dedicated to empowering contemporary and traditional creatives, nurturing their talents, and recognizing their roles as catalysts for change in our communities, safeguarding both our tangible and intangible heritage. The NICH vision to create a Belize that embraces and promotes our cultures, our values, our identity, our prosperity in our global community is brought to life through a diverse array of programs and initiatives. You can learn more about the resources provided by NICH by visiting the Museum of Belize or the Museum of Belizean Art located in Belize City, the various houses of cultures located countrywide, as well as visiting nichbelize.org or other websites and tools such as the 501 Academy and Access 501. I actually have a game planned.
Oh my God, this is what I was scared for. I literally tell my friend, I'm hoping to try playing no game now because me not good for that.
No, this one is a safe one. It's a good one. Okay. It's called the Belizean 5-second rule.
Oh, Jesus
so
Christ.
Basically, the way how it will go, that I will give you So I will make you name 3 things relating to Belize, but you have 5 seconds to do it. All right?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, be good. Yeah, be good. You're a well-experienced traveler, so you'll be prepared.
Scary. Okay.
You'll be prepared.
I'm ready.
All right. The first one. Name 3 Belizean schools.
Nazarene, BHS, and SC. That's
See?
crazy because I don't even from Belize City and one Belize City school like I'll just know.
See? Well, you get it though?
That's crazy.
Next one. Name 3 Belizean food dishes.
Rice and beans, hodot and bundiga.
Oh, I like bundiga.
Bundiga good.
Mm-hmm. Name 3 Belizean cultures.
Maya, Mestizo, Creole.
Mm-hmm. Name 3 Belizean artists.
Super G,
Mm-hmm.
QB, and Bossa B.
There we go. There we go. Next one. Name 3 Belizean only holidays.
Belizean only holidays. 9th of March. Fuck. 9th of March. Baron Bliss Day.
That's the same.
Swear to God.
Yeah, that's the same.
Judge Price. Judge Price Day. Baron Bliss Day. And 19th.
Yep. See?
19th.
You get it though, but I
19th.
think you don't pass the 5 seconds for now.
Listen, we just cut back the camera.
All right, next one. Name 3 Belizean restaurants.
Ella's.
Mm-hmm.
Ella's Islands and Pelican. I think I'm over 5 seconds as well, but
Yeah.
we did that.
Next one. Name 3 Belizean islands or keys.
Saltwater Key, Mohoki, and Reiki.
There we go. And last one. Name 3 Belizean national symbols.
I need to say drums of our father. The toucan, the Kill Bill toucan, the mahogany tree, and the tapir.
There we go. There we go. So I think that's like a 8 out of 10. Yeah, that's a
we'll
80.
give it
That's
that. That
yeah.
sounds probably right. Because,
But you did good for seeing me to doubt yourself.
you know, honestly, I'm thinking maybe name the Belize protected areas. Name this specific. Oh my God.
I don't know why I go that deep, yeah.
Rate them and last because it's the things that I know that I can't answer, you know? Like
that when I get put on the spot and all the lights
Yes.
and everything that I
at Climate Week, that had happened to me where they were playing a game and I'm a want this cup. But this time, a cup would tell you the temperature where they inside of the cup. So I was like, ooh, fancy.
Fancy
Need
cup.
that. And it was like 5 different games you had to go through to get the cup. Mind you, I forget the cup. That Climate Week, so I never even get one with it. But one of them was the boy made asked me, and it's because we just had a whole conversation about the different marine protected areas in Belize. And he said, okay, name 6 of them.
6?
I was like, hold on. You're moving too fast. He said, you just made a thought about them. I'm like, yes, but you ask me for name, then I have to slow down. Actually, I think about it. So that was the only thing about test taking. Ooh, that was fun.
6 hour lot though. Name on the spot like that.
Actually, there is I think it's 6 or 7, and then 103 protected areas within the country, like protected reserves, 103, and then marine protected areas and PAs. I think we have like 6 or 7. So yeah, Saltwater Key, where Saltwater Key is, where the island I grew up, that's on one of the 2nd largest of the marine protected areas within Belize. That park runs about 47,700 hectares of just marine park.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it there. That I could talk all day about.
I need to make a trip down there.
You definitely do when you come back.
Yeah.
You have to let me know and then
I'll
we
make
could
you
go
know,
there.
How do you balance your professional life from your social life?
My professional life has become my social life, to be completely honest. Like, since I've started, I'm a homebody. So if I'm out of my house, it's either because one of my friends are visiting from abroad and we're outside, or I am being invited to go somewhere. Other than that, I'm pretty stationed in Dangriga. And a lot of my conversations, I think, have become more sensitization-like. It's gotten to the point where I can't really, like, I could have a regular conversation, but it'll always shift into a bigger matter. And like I like to educate people without even trying to. And so most of the times, like the friends that I have, we could get into conversations like that. You know, so we just sit on the talk about people or the talk about when we just sip on news. It will literally be like the work that we've been doing, or not all of my friends are advocates, but most of them are, or just their work in general, where they are in life. And so we would like just, yeah, so we would just get lost in whatever conversation. And most of my friends are like-minded. So if I meet their friends and we have like a little crossover episode, it's the same vibe. We could always have those conversations. And I think it's really important. I don't try to mesh my personal life with my professional life, but it just ends up happening because of the passion I hold with it. So it's important for me to, whenever the opportunity comes up, it just becomes a conversation. And my professional life, that sounds very old, but it's the goal for it, and the mission is to see a more resilient Belize when it comes to community. And I think that never really ends, you know, like if you do that for work, you will always do that no matter on or off the clock, because that is how important it is. You know what I mean? If the opportunity is there to be able to talk about certain issues, or, you know, just allow someone to have a different perspective in what's going on, do it. And because of my platform, for Blue Marlin, I do a lot of things, but mainly they're marketing and public relations. That's pretty much how I shifted it into being my personal life as well, because when I go to these different pop-ups and talk to different people, all of a sudden, I could help you with your marketing now. And I'm not getting paid for that, so it'll just be like, she's helping us, or, but I don't care. Like, I wouldn't know who I was if I didn't have my advocacy. Well, I could call it advocacy now, but I wouldn't know who I was if I wasn't as selfish as I am. And I don't think that's bad either. Like, I don't care that I don't have a good balance between work and life, because my work has become my life. And I think it's just for the benefit. Like, it makes sense to me because it works for me, and I don't feel like I'm working when I'm working. So I think that's another bad thing too, is literally on my birthday, night before my birthday, guess what I do? Answer email. On my birthday, writing out a letter that someone asked me to write for a project that they're doing next month or at the end of this month. And I'm like, my friends were telling me, why you do work? I'm like, because I have the time to, one. And writing that speech made me cry. So writing that letter almost made me cry, because it was like a reflection, teaching somebody, or telling somebody what I wish I heard at the age of 16. And in the past year that I thought there was no better time than to write something like that, especially on my birthday. And they're like, "Gal, you crazy?" No, I'm not. I'm just very passionate. Right. So I think it's important to hold some type of passion or interest in the work that you do. Not even if it's like advocacy or anything. Like, if you have a job, please make sure you like it. Because if you're anything like me and you're not interested, you will not do it. Not that me. Like, if I'm working somewhere and I'm not interested in it, I won't do any work. I won't be motivated to. And that is what I cook it crumble. Yeah. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it, whatever.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Wherever God wants me to be honest. Because I'm not the type of person to like, okay, these are my resolutions for this year, this is how I'll be next year. Everything kind of just works out in the way it should. Like, this last year was a lot of losses, a lot of lessons, and a lot of wins, to be completely honest with you. Like, this year was a lot to take in. And if there's anything that I've learned, I used to be very like plan A. I need to know what this is going to be my goal. This is what happened at the end of the year. And as somebody who expects a lot, I get disappointed way more. And so in time, I think last year, the year before, was the first time that I didn't really have a plan on where I wanted to be at the end of the year. I just had a couple goals. Like, okay, I'll be a tour guide. Got that. Because I wanted to be a tour guide, it led me into different, I guess, capacities or spaces that made that branch out to know more people, to do more things. So I think in the next 5 years, if I'm not prime minister or area representative for Stony Creek, my goal is to at least have a few youth groups throughout the country, not just limited to Dangriga, but youth groups that are assisting in every front. So high school, sixth form, and primary school students, seeing how we could bridge that gap. I already have a whole plan about how that gap could be bridged with the youth group, but that's actually been something I've been working on for the past year, like trying to see it come to fruition. So if in 5 years, I could have 5 youth groups throughout the country that have the same goal of marine conservation, community sensitization, and personal development, I'm down. But I'm hoping to have Contact Bree actually registered as a nonprofit organization, because I've been doing work for the past 2 years as an individual or through the Belize Tourism Industry Association Dangriga chapter. I'm their secretary, but I appointed myself as community development lead because I plan all of their initiatives for Dangriga, or the ones that we want to do. And all of my initiatives that I put together, or projects that I try to put together, aren't based on what I think was good. It's literally based off of community surveys that I do myself, or off of data that I have access to from my friends at DYS. So it's yeah. I don't want to see Dangriga developing infrastructurally without our people developing along with it, because then that's backwards. Like, if we're doing all of this infrastructure development in this given community where funding is an issue, right? With a lot of things, finance is an issue. People work, live hand to mouth there. And we're doing all of this infrastructure development, but not really worried about the development of the people that live there. That's how gentrification happens, right? So we have all of that nice roads, these nice buildings, but we will soon become washed out. Because people will not be able to live or work where they grew up because they won't be able to afford it. And that's my goal for the next 5 years, is to ensure that we have some kind of personal development within the marine communities, so that when infrastructure develops there, our people are ready and they're not scrambling to find where they will start when they should have already started, right? And I hate the crab in the bucket mentality, but we need to get out of the thought, or just the mentality of they need to come to me to make I do it. How the hell you always make somebody come to you when only you know what you need to do? Right? And that's what I'm scared of the most, is that we will bring these, or I will be able to help in assisting and getting personal development. Like, the things that help me, I want to bring in my community, because Dangriga has so much potential in being better than all of the tourism destinations. Period. We have the airstrip, we the mainland, you have access to islands, there's a hospital, there's so many things that could go for Dangriga in a positive light. But if we don't get our communities ready, and this is not only for Dangriga coastal communities, this is anybody's community. If your community is not ready for the plans of infrastructure development, how you think how we could survive when the taxes raise, because they think not come for free. You know what I mean? And so that's the goal for 5 years, is to have enough personal development within my town, so that when we have our cruise port finished and when we have our municipal park done, they understand the value of not only themselves, but they understand the value of our community, and they could be selfless enough to empower it. Because you can only empower something if you truly understand its value and if you are selfless, because that's the only way you could give yourself, is if you understand the value of yourself and the value of what you're doing. And I think that's a big thing, because a lot of people they're scared to start because they might feel like their dream is too big. And that's the problem. It's not even a problem. In Belize, it's so small that when you have an idea and you tell somebody that idea, their first thing to tell you is, "That's too big." It is never too big. It's never too big, because if you don't start, you will never. You'll never start. And if you're living with the opinions of other people, or that's too big of an idea, or you can't do that because you need X, Y, and Z, you are failing yourself. Because Belize, it's easy to think your plan is too small. I mean, your plan is too big when you grew up in a small community. But then they're the kind of people that we need. Those are the kind of ideas we need, are the big ideas, because big things happen small. I started out with just cleanups. I started out with just going to pop-up shops and saying hello to people. You know what I mean? In that same year, I was recognized by BTB. I was recognized by Oceana. I was invited by different organizations from PG, Corozal, Belize City, Toledo. I mean, well, Toledo and PG are the same place, but it's just, you start with what you have, because really and truly all I had was my voice and a car. All I had was my voice, my passion, and a car to get me somewhere. And that's all I needed, because after that, people start talking about you, word of mouth, People start talking about you, they give you your number. How can people message you and they call you? Oh, we need you to come and, talk to these youths about empowerment, or let's do an activity with them about posting intentional, because that's what I do with Yakshe. We talked about posting intentional, like using social media to educate and to empower your community. And the kids after that, they started doing their own videos about what they're used to. Like one of them, I think, me do with their granny, how their granny would make medicinal teas or something like that. They talked about the garden area, like the leaf farm area that Yakshe had at their organization. They just talked about the different things that were there that they're used to, that other people would be like, oh wow, you know? And that's really where it starts, is showing them that you could do it. You don't really need what iPhone 17 Pro Max plus for
that is it.
for do a video. You know, you just do a video and if someone scrolls past it, and I tell people this all the time, business owners, youth, adults, anybody who listen to me, just because somebody think that you think too expensive or they scroll past your video, that means that your service or your product is not enough. You are just not their target audience. You need to continue to work so that the algorithm takes you to your target audience. You should not be discouraged, because when I used to post on TikTok, nobody used to watch my thing. Like I'd get like maybe 2-3 likes, and I'd be from my cousin name. And then I started educating people. People start listening. What happened? More people follow me, more people are liking it. And I've built a community of people, even though it's not too much following, for me, it's enough. If I get more, even better, because then I know that I am sensitizing these people, Belizeans, Americans, foreigners, you know, to the value of us. And maybe that drives more tourism here in Belize, or it drives our people to go and see something that they look on every day and don't know about. Right. You know what I mean? Or know that they have access to, but finally feel like, okay, maybe I should go to St. NICH today or Caracol, which you should go to Caracol, because Caracol both will develop and you might not even be able to actually experience the place as it, you know, once was. And that, oh my God, I can't wait for that, you know? But I know AI has a lot of plans for the different archaeological sites. So I think it's important that Belizeans, we go out to them and we see what they're doing, what it looks like now, so that we could compare it in the next 5 years. Because same way I have a plan for 5 years or lack thereof, other people have 5-year plans and they've been working on it for the past 10. So I'm just waiting to see the ripple effect, you know, like how this organization is working toward a goal for this one. And because of, you know, the goals that Belize has set in place for the different organizations to follow. In 10 years, you know how different Belize could look if we all just work together? Like, if we're all following the same set of rules in different focuses, you know, in different fonts almost, we could see the Belize that we want to see in the next 3-4 years, if that, because it'll be a collective idea. What makes things so hard right now is that we don't have enough people. They do. And you all go back to stop the wait for make they can't tell you do this, just do it. Or not do it for money, because I mean we know money make thing happen, but sometimes you have to really look upon the outcome of certain things. Like, yes, you know to get paid for it, but it will help the quality of your life later on down the road. A lot of like that are like, I call people to do cleanups with me. They're like, oh, did they pay? Why would I pay you to clean up your community? You know what I mean? Well, or they are telling me, oh, that's the community workers' job. Help me. The hell, the community is huge. You can't just expect these ladies to clean up the entire town when they're supposed to be maintaining the grounds and picking up maybe the 1 or 2 garbage, right? Cutting the grass and fix up and make sure the place is presentable. They're not supposed to be picking up your 50 bags of garbage. That's crazy. You know, in a year and 4 months, based off of my Clean Swell app, because Oceana has an app where you could track the garbage that you pick up, right? I have picked up, if not 1,200, about 1,500 pounds of garbage in the south. So Dangriga, Sotwataki, and Hopkins, we did the cleanups, multiple cleanups, and we picked up about, I said 1,200 to 1,500 pounds of garbage. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Why? That's not a community worker's job to pick up no 1,500 pounds of garbage. And I might need that, but you know what? I'll do it. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I want to show somebody, hey, this girl will do it. Make me know. I'm not gonna do that. On the riverside alone in Dangriga, we picked up 5 bags, and all of us had our own bag, full it up to the brim. Not even 100 yards. How are we picking up about 5 extra large bags of garbage in just 100 or 200 yards? You know what 100 yards? When you say what sign, we say what bump they come and the bump did it at 100 yards. If we pick up five bags, extra large bags of garbage, that our issue. That our issue. That our issue. Our issue.
A big issue.
Yes. So it all really goes back to people's understanding of the value of the resources. That's why at Contact Bree, I promote preservation of our resources. We'll also preserve our culture, because they can't gentrify us if we care. You know, they can't gentrify us if we are putting in that extra work to help our communities or to develop ourselves, to help ourselves to be resilient in a coastal community. Because even though they don't want to think about it, Dangriga depend on tourism, which we don't see the fruits of it as much because it's not a lot of families that work within tourism. Most we have a lot of fishermen. But if we had the support in our smaller communities to develop, I don't know, organically, if that makes sense, right? Not developing modern day buildings and things, just amplifying what's already there, making it colorful, decorating the town when we have celebrations. You know what I mean? Those small things are big actions. Because when people come to Dangra, even I drive to Dangra, I'm like, man, we look great. 19th Korong, you see a one and two flag they put up, they finally paint the park cross for the hotel. I'm like, yo, where's the pride? You know what I mean? And then people come and they complain. I hate when people come to Dangra and tell me, Dangra look the same, nothing change. Fight you. Dangra does look the same, but you don't have to make it, you don't have to point it out like that.
You don't have to tell me.
You don't have to tell me that, you know, because for me, when they try and make things change, it just feel like a slap in the face. Because that's true. We haven't, like, Dangra, there's a sign at the Ecumenical Drive. It's like one of the main roads in Dangriga, at the head of the road. There's a sign that's been there since I was in primary school. I turned 25 yesterday. The sign's still there. You know what I mean? Preschool, name primary school. Preschool, the sign has been there. And I don't know, it just show like this is what you get. And it sounds bad coming out of my mouth because saying it out loud, it kind of sounds kind of controversial. But it's true. The sign has been there since I was in preschool. Fight me, you know? But there's so much more. Like, yes, with a fixed road, with add this, with add that. But there's so much more that could be done as well. And if we as a community, I've been in many rooms, many spaces where these conversations come up in what community they're going to help next or what community can we support. And it's when you bring up like Dangriga, the coastal communities, their first thing is like, oh, people not really support it, which is true because when we have different personal development workshops and stuff that come out, or organizations are asking for the community's help in more information for like data validation or making plans, like their MPAs or something. Not MPAs, that's a marine protected area, like making their 5-year plans or something like that, or trying to validate their plan that they have set for the next 4 or 5 years for this specific area. We don't have much engagement from our communities that are needed, so they'll be overlooked from who they actually have the data from. And that's why I try to tell people like you need to be present, you need to be there when they're asking for more information, because how will they know what the community needs if we don't go and tell them? And it can't just be me, you know what I mean? And that's really been the hardest thing, is getting more genuine involvement from people. I think if we got more engagements when it comes to not even bigger organizations but community-based initiatives, then it would be like, okay, we have something that we could work with. Then people that we know serious, we have our next group, we have do this again, and then we have bring up more people. And that really is like a domino effect. You start one thing, you do that, and I will support you to do that, then you support me to do this. And that's how it works. You know what I mean? People, I've noticed that a lot of families, they connect with you once you're helping their youth. Once you're helping their kid in developing any kind of way. Whether it be with their social skills, just supporting them, being a shoulder for them to like lean on when they need advice or something. That's how you get families involved, is the adults not really care about what you're doing for them, especially if they have kids. If you are helping them develop the mindset of their youth, or you are helping their youth excel in things that they probably don't know how to assist in. That is how you get the engagement and the trust from families, you know what I mean, is genuinely being interested in the development of them. And that's what we're lacking. I think we need more people that genuinely care about the interests of other people's development, because as I am developing, because I have no qualification in what I do. I have a passion for what I do. And so when I do things, I do it with a whole heart, like genuinely wanting to see the best come out of anything, come out of any person. And I hope that whoever listens to this podcast, they kind of resonate with that and makes them think, okay, maybe I should do a little bit more, because I know that a lot of people that live in Belize, they want to help. They want to be a part of different things, but they don't really know how. And I was there. I never know how, but I gave myself a position. I got to my granny. I went to the president of BTI at the time. I went to my grandmother, who's the president for Dangriga's chapter. And I said, I want to work with you. I think this would be a good start. I want to work with you guys. They needed a secretary because the lady that was the secretary prior to had stepped down. Okay, make me secretary. I took on that position and did so much more. Like, I did so much more. And that was really one of my first chances, was working along with them. And so I'm fully grateful to BTIA, fully grateful to BTB, and the different organizations that I've had the privilege of working along with the past couple of years that I've been home, because you could see the relationships that I've built. You could see the differences that they've made in the youths that I have worked with the past couple of years. Like, some of them still come to me. You see them like out and actually like doing stuff. One of them is a tour guide now. Like, it's like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of progression happening in the South. I just feel like we need more support that you could see instead of aesthetics, because I think that's a lot of what is focused on is the aesthetic of something, when we should be working on the development of others. But yeah, that's pretty much what my advocacy is about, is marine and coastal community development, personal development, sensitization and empowerment, and ensuring that everybody has a fair chance at being successful. That's pretty much it. I feel like once you support one person, it's easy to support another, or showing them that people not so bad mind. Like, I support this one. You know what I mean? Like, monkey see, monkey do at the end of the day. One of the ideas, I want to go to a pop-up shop and I want to be packed like Expo. That's how I want to look. Packed like Expo, and none more like small, run-in-the-mill pop-up. I'm talking like every single Belizean business. Oh my goodness, how big would that be? Rate that Marianne Jones. Or rate that Dangriga. Do it close and off. I'm going way far when I carry my suitcase of things back to my house. But yeah, that's pretty much what got me started, what my advocacy is about. I don't know, and a food for thought, because I say a lot of controversial things. That's why I don't like coming on things like this, because I try not to be, the things that I say, I say them in good faith. I'm not talking in, criticizing anybody or one organization or anyone else's goal. It's really the realities that I see, and nobody can tell me where I just said a lie, because these are things that I've experienced myself, things that I have put together one, and this is how I choose to live my life, is by keeping my values at the highest. My mission for Contact Bree is neutrality, is community, is empowerment, is ensuring that everybody has a fair chance, and education, because how can you empower if you're not educated in what you're empowering, So it's really just that, is showing people that you could come from a small community and still be able to do things, whether you have the finances or not, as long as you have the interest, the passion, and you're willing to start where you are, you could accomplish absolutely anything. There was a lady, and I'll talk about her short for a little while. Her name was Miss Nen. She actually lived across the street from the hotel that me and my mom have. And I remember seeing her reel up after picnic the dash for garbage in the street. But I love Miss Nen, may she rest in peace. And she told me once, and it stuck with me forever, like, I want to get a tattoo on my forehead if I could. Nobody stones a tree that does not produce. You know what I mean? You ever say what picnic the belt a mango tree, no mango on it? Nope, exactly. So you as a person, a lot of people stop or don't do something because their fear of what others will say or what others will think. Stop thinking about that. Nobody's still not you not produce. Whether they talk about you negatively, they still talk about you and the things that you do, right? People are talking about you negatively anyways, but they're not talking about you if you don't do nothing. So continue doing. Don't worry about what people are saying. Not make they hurt your feelings. Post your video and do the voiceover and not worry about what time they can Harry have to say about, ooh, this one thing that an influencer. Absolutely. Hell yeah, I'm an influencer. Hell yeah. Thank you. You know? Nobody stones a tree that does not produce. And I think that if Miss Nen never tell me that, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now, because in that moment, I don't even think she knew it at that time, but I was like super insecure about the work that I was doing. Wanting to post about it online, but didn't want people to think that I was only doing it for recognition, because that was never the case. Like, I did it because genuinely wanted to. It just so happens that I'm really good at it and people like working with me, so it takes me all around the place. But I just wish that people would stop being so scared, because fear is really like, I don't know what fear is, but it's just a figment of your imagination. Fear comes from anxiety, comes from not knowing what to expect, comes from not being fully prepared. And I think those are the best experiences, is not knowing how something is going to go, because then you have no expectations. And if you have no expectations, you'll never be disappointed. So that's really why I live by. I live by my own set of rules and regulations. I ask for forgiveness, not permission. And I no stone, no tree, because I live in a glass house.
And lastly, before we let you go, let us know where the people can find you and keep up with you on your journey. So
the people can find me on TikTok and Instagram at contactbri_BZ, and on Facebook, my Facebook is kind of like my LinkedIn. So you can keep up with all of the things that I'm up to at Brianna Boyd Zabaneh, or contact BZ-Brianna Boyd on Facebook.
And there we go. That brings us to the ending of our episode. A very special thank you to Brianna Boyd for making her way on this week's episode of the Captain 501 broadcast. And a very special thank you to you guys for watching as well. If you want more episodes, check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.